My channel is usually about my life in the Netherlands and mental health, but now I am in Bali. And I want to talk to you today about why I am in Bali for 2 months, what Bali taught me, why do I keep coming back to Bali, some insights and habits that I got here. This type of insights that once you got it, you can no longer come back from it. You cannot keep on living as you used to before. That's what we're dealing with here. I just finished my morning routine and I'm so happy that I managed to establish it here in Bali. In the Netherlands it was really hard for me, especially during winter month, because you wake up and it's still super dark. You are not sure if it's the morning or night. The last thing I wanted to do was to meditate or do yoga or do any sort of activity. And the story that I was telling to myself was that when I am in a sunny place, when the weather gets better, when, then it will be easier, then I will be able to do that. And here is the tricky part. When the conditions get perfect, you're not ready for it. When I came to Bali and I had this perfect scenario, perfect thought that I would wake up early, that I would do yoga, I would meditate, I would, do all of these sort of beautiful practices, that didn't happen for me because the habit was not there. And I had to spend quite some time to get into this habit of going to bed earlier and waking up earlier. When I have extra 2 hours in the evening, I'm likely not going to be productive. I'm likely going to be scrolling and doing some activities that are not enriching me in any way. But when I have the same 2 hours in the morning, I'm likely going to do something that's going to fulfill me, be meaningful, be educational, and prepare my body and mind for a beautiful day ahead. We're now going to check out some real estate in Bali. I'll tell you in a bit why, what for, and all of the details. But before that, we came to have breakfast in a Russian place. We found this Russian restaurant only 800 meters from the place where we're staying. Typically, we try to do some physical activity in the morning, especially in the morning, because when I do something in the evening like gym or yoga or anything, if it's active, I can't fall asleep. So I try to fit my physical activity of the day in the morning, but there are exceptions. Here to check out how the apartments are being built, what's the status, how the location looks like. So still work in progress. Alright, now we sat down and we're waiting for food, and I want to chat with you about why we're looking to buy something in Bali. Since pretty much I could remember myself, I've always wanted to have passive income. It's associated for me with freedom, with an alternative path, with something else than doing a 9 to 5 and trading my time for money. Nothing wrong with that, by the way, as long as you love doing it. For example, I am so passionate about coaching, like I can't even tell how passionate I am about it, but I want to have something else besides coaching. And this is where buying a property comes in. I'm not a seasonal investor. I don't know it all. I'm just at the very beginning of my journey. So I want to make sure that what I'm buying is not only a good investment opportunity, but also something that I could potentially live in. Like, imagine that turns out to be a terrible investment opportunity. At least I love the place. And with Ubud, I see myself staying here long term. It's also a place with high potential because there is so many tourists. There are more tourists than apartments at the moment. There are some factors to consider, like it can never be too densely populated because there are territories that are UNESCO protected, which means that you can't really buy land there and you can't build on those territories, which makes Ubud a really interesting place to look into. Now I'm gonna get some work done. I have some client sessions in the evening. These days I work mostly with Europe and with the Americas, which means that my sessions are usually either early morning my time or in the evenings my time, which gives me the whole day to do other things and to prepare for the sessions, to refresh my knowledge, to review what was discussed before and set my mind to the session so I can help to the best of my ability. I got out now to chat with you guys a bit about why Bali, why I enjoy Bali so much, why do I keep coming back here, and especially to Ubud. Ubud to me offers this safe, sacred space to explore what's within and layer by layer unpack things. In Ubud, there's just so many practices, spiritual practices, mindful practices, meditations, qigong sessions, kundalini, hypnotherapy, basically whatever you want, you can find it here in Ubud. I like going to these sessions with the big question that I have in mind. We all go through lives having something that bothers us, depending on how you're connected to yourself. It's more like on a subconscious level, and it might feel like a discomfort, might feel like, oh, something is just not good. Or if you're a bit more mindful and you're conscious, you can actually phrase this question. To me, I'm at the level where I am connected to myself, and I often can phrase the question precisely, like what exactly I'm seeking to achieve. And if not, I can pinpoint the area that I'd like to tap into and investigate. So the big thing that's been occupying my mind is transitioning from my 9 to 5. And I know that it's something that occupies your minds too, because we have so many chats with you about it on Instagram. And if you don't follow me yet, but you want to join this discussion, you are free to do so. I'll be happy to see you there. This is my Instagram handle. All right, so I go to these practices with the question at heart. How do I transition from my 9 to 5 to coaching, to creating content, and potentially offering some marketing services to companies? And if it's the first time you're watching my video, I feel like I need to give some context. I live in the Netherlands. I already work as a coach. I already work as an influencer. I already provide some marketing services to companies. On top of that, I have my 9 to 5 job full time. I have a solid education. I have an MBA in business. And I went through phases of acknowledging to myself that my 9 to 5 is not it. I've always known that, but it took me a while to go through the first phase of admitting this to myself. It took me, again, some time to figure out what it is I want to do. And that was a journey by itself. Now I am at another phase. How do I go from already having a solid foundation to scaling it? This is where I am. And I'm super grateful for my journey, because it means that I have so much experience and I can be of use to my clients who are just starting out. I know all the ins and outs. I've just gone through this journey. I'm still on it, but I'm at the end of it. And this means that I can help someone who is just about to start. I can anticipate the problems, the issues, the challenges that they are yet to encounter. I met someone in Bali who said something that resonated with me. He said, while experiences are different, the essence of it is the same. And that's exactly what I'm talking about here. All right, back to my own story. I came with this question to Bali because not only Bali has this sacred space and this like cocoon that allows you to explore, investigate, and what I've already mentioned. In Bali, you also see a variety of people. In the Netherlands, at least, like people who I hang out with are mostly either entrepreneurs or doing a 9 to 5. And in Bali, it's like so different. You can see here someone who is collecting cacao beans. There are free divers. There are yoga instructors. There are people who teach you how to meditate. There are people who invest in properties. There are people who moved here to become developers. The point is that life is so abundant. There is just so much that we can do. Sitting in Eindhoven, it feels like my path is only this. Like I only see, like a tunnel vision. But being here in Bali, I realized that it doesn't have to be this. It can be that. It can be that. Like it just can be so many different directions, and I am the one who's going to decide how to design this direction. The last thing I'm going to say here on this topic, if you're watching this and if you want more practical tips about how to transition from 9 to 5 to the project of your passion, I have a video talking exactly about that, talking exactly about how to, first of all, find that project, how to transition, how to start making money of it, all of that. So I will link it somewhere here. Now we're heading home because I have some coaching sessions and I prefer when it's quiet, there are no people, no any external noises that can disturb the sessions. But before that, we're gonna get a cacao. Before we're gonna get a cacao, I want to talk to you about something else. So let's explore. There is this type of staircase that leads to some sort of a rooftop. Alright, I got to the rooftop and I want to bring up another big topic that came up for me while I'm in Bali. And this big topic is about self-expression. And I know that many of you might think like, what? Expressing yourself is hard for you? You're on YouTube, you're on Instagram, like, what's the heck? Yeah, that's true, but you can do YouTube, you can do Instagram, and you can still hold back a bit. This video is, I think, one of the rawest and sincerest and one of the real video that I've ever recorded. I'm doing my best now to be unapologetically me. That's super hard because if we're wearing a mask and if we get rejected, it doesn't hurt as much. We're like wearing a mask, you know, we are protected. But when I show up as the rawest version of me and I get rejected, that hurts. I thought a lot about it, and I think my 9 to 5 contributes a lot to me not fully being myself. It almost feels like there are two versions of Tanya. One is the one that you see and the one that you're gonna see even more of because I'm gonna be even more authentic, honest, raw, and another version is the version that my boss sees, and that version is much more inhibited, much more scared. This sort of habit of not being yourself transfers to other areas of your life. I'm not too unique in that. Recently I asked you guys, what are you struggling with the most? A lot of people said, especially men, said that I don't know how to express myself. I'm scared to show my emotions. And understandably so, I completely get why that might be the case. I work with a lot of men who come to me and they say, I don't know how to express my emotions. I think it's useless, it's stupid, I don't want to be seen weak. Why would I say that I'm having a bad day? I can cope with that. Like, I'm a man, I can handle it. Of course, there are exceptions, but typically women can express themselves, but we often don't feel understood or heard by our male partner. A lot of women come to me sharing that I don't know how to talk to my partner because it seems like I am talking and I'm expressing, but I am talking to a wall. There is no response back. I also get it because if a man doesn't know how to express himself, he is likely not sure how to receive emotions. And I'd like to offer some food for thought for both situations. For men who doesn't know how to or who thinks that expressing emotions is stupid, I'd like to invite some curiosity and investigate if this is really true for you or if these are some beliefs that were imposed on you. Is this approach, is this strategy really helpful? And for a woman, we need to understand that our man is not our father. We might expect him to be this all-loving, all-forgiving, fatherly figure that's gonna protect us, that's gonna understand us, that's gonna like get everything and like serve us and all that. This typically happens with women who might not receive in the childhood this fatherly love. So if we haven't received that, we might expect our man to take on this role, but it's not his role to take. And that's a journey by itself to get to the point where you get this clear insight and it lands with you. And that takes time. I don't believe in coaching that tells you what to do, like say that, behave like this, do that. It doesn't create a sustainable, lasting change. It might work for a moment, but after that you will start noticing an internal conflict where you're feeling something else, but you're saying the opposite of what you're feeling, and that comes back to expressing yourself authentically, right? So what works here is putting in the work and investing in yourself. You're gonna explore and investigate in this area of life, and you're gonna notice fewer internal conflicts. You're gonna notice that the edge is taken off. The average quality of life is improving so much, and life is getting from this tendency, you know, when it's going down or when it's plateaued, that there is a little bit of change, a little bit of the upward curve, a little bit of improvement, and that's all we need. Okay, me and all my equipment are going for a cacao and then coaching sessions. Looking forward to that. Not to paint the wrong picture that Bali is absolutely perfect. There are disadvantages, as pretty much with everything in life, right? Now in one of the coaching sessions, a client of mine asked me when I'm planning to host the next cacao ceremony. I've started hosting cacao gatherings in 2024, and last year I've hosted 6 cacao ceremonies, from 0 to 6. I'm very proud of myself. The concept was inspired by me wanting to bring a piece of Bali, a piece of this sacred space, of this special space, and offer a safe space for people in the Netherlands to connect with themselves, to process their emotions in a safe and sustainable way, and to just get a little bit of a break from an everyday life. A moment to sit down with themselves and be able to access the answers within. So good news is that I still plan to continue doing cacao gatherings. I'm thinking of tweaking and changing it a little bit, but more on this will come later. At the moment, I don't know when I will host another one, but probably by the time this video is released, the date is already announced. So if you are curious, if you want to learn more, there is a whole video about it. I'll leave the video and the link in the video description below. So if you are interested in it, if you think that that's something for me, I want to try it, you can sign up as well. I'd love to see you at my next cacao gathering. Okay, now we got our food, which is a sign for me to wrap up this video. I'm really grateful that you were here with me and you watched this video until the end. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me and to give your attention to me. Our attention is the most valuable resource we have, so thank you so much for choosing to spend it this way. If you have any questions about the video, you can leave them in the comments below, or you can contact me on my Instagram. Alright, I'm off to having dinner, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.